you know,
Right.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was fun to do that show because it's almost like a Mythbusters where you're deciphering information and saying like, is it actually true? Because there's no record of it. It's not like you
Yeah.
go back and be like, hey, let's see the video.
It's just
There is
written.
no video.
It's just written.
Yeah, it's just stories and what was said. But I mean, there's definitely, you know, big strong guys through history for sure. You
I
know,
wonder who the strongest person ever was. You think obviously you're one of them.
yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate question.
I wonder if there's just some random freak that just no one ever knew about that was just like, but also like, how could you measure that? Because what he's in a gym squatting, you know?
Totally.
He's like not.
Well, and then there's functional strength, like I would say like farmer strength, right? Like somebody that just worked hard physically,
Yeah.
and they were just very strong, but they could do things that other people couldn't do, versus getting in the gym,
Yeah.
right? So and then how would that translate? Like how strong is somebody? You know, like grip is a fascinating thing to me. I love the grip
you
strength
have
side of it.
craziest tools. Apparently, you have like what you have like a is it a dumbbell or a thing that like is one of one or something?
Yeah, so I have a, and I've not lifted it yet.
Which is
It's a 350-pound dumbbell, 350.
isn't the grip
It's
stick, right?
It's a 2-inch handle,
Yeah.
and the dumbbell, it's a big globe dumbbell, massive globes. You know,
Yeah.
It was.
You haven't lifted it. It's just
I've not. I think that'll be when I do lift it. I think that will be the greatest feat of grip strength ever.
in the history
History.
of like recorded history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that dumbbell, like there's history of that dumbbell, which is cool. So a guy made it. It's Jim. It was for Jim's gym. So Jim was the guy's name, and he put it in his gym. And if anybody could lift it, they had a lifetime membership for free. They trained for free.
Could he lift it?
No.
Okay.
But here's the crazy part: is it said it was 350 pounds, and you would assume that because it was just made randomly, that if you put it on a scale, it would be, you know, 347 or 352 or something, right? It was on the dot, 350 pounds. I weighed it 350 dead. It was unbelievable. Like, how did somebody do that?
How old is it?
I mean, it's probably, I don't know what year, maybe in the 60s or 70s
Yeah.
that they made it, and then he had it there. But it was just one of these things. And the guy passed away, Jim did, and then there was a guy that had gone to his gym that had it, and he was trying to get rid of it, you know, and obviously who wants it? Well, I want it, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know, so I drove to Kansas City to get it, pick it up and all that. But it's insane, man. I mean, I've lifted obviously like the Thomas Inch dumbbells, more of a known feat of grip strength. So 172, but a 2.5-inch handle. And then the Millennium dumbbell is rare. There's only five of those in the world. And that's 231 pounds, but a 2.5-inch handle. So, but there's, again, now you're talking.
You could lift that one though.
Yeah. But you're talking rare air of people that could actually.
What other weird sort of like things are there that like you've lifted or you've wanted to lift that you know is like rare? Because obviously the strongman stuff is so cool because there's so much like different use of strength, like different, you know, modalities where like you're lifting this thing and carrying it in circles.
Totally.
So what other things are there like that? Are there?
I mean, there's a bunch of different feats of grip strength that are historic, right? So you can lift old plates like the York deep dish plates. So the thicker, those are rare and more expensive now to get. But if you can put two of those back to back, pinch them and pick them up. So it's a 90-pound pinch grip, but it's 4 inches wide.
Yeah.
2-inch. So it's just having the grip strength, and there's only a lip on a plate like that. So doing that, I've done that, but it's, you know, there's just different stuff. Like I get creative with it, right? Like it's just a different challenge of, can you do it? Like
how important is grip strength, you think, in overall strength?
Massively.
Yeah.
I think it's massive. I think that it's your connection point. It's your connection point to lifting something. So everybody, obviously now you can use straps, of course, and that type of thing. But in my mind, if you can, true strength is you walk over, you grab it, you pick it up, but you can hold on to it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's your connection. So if your grip is weak, then overall, and there's other studies with grip strength as people get older. If you have a strong grip, you're healthy, right?
Like
so
how does that directly correlate? I wonder.
It's interesting, man. But they have done it. I mean, there are studies out there that will test an older person, like in their 70s or 80s.
I feel like it has to do with the nervous system for sure.
Yeah.
Because the strength of your nervous system, like how hard you can grip, or even like the tapping test of how quick you can tap.
Sure.
Like, is
like a reaction.
The health of your nervous system.
Well, your brain, but it's just overall, it's fascinating. Like your grip as you get older. Like if you test somebody's grip, I mean, again, I couldn't quote the study, so I don't want to say, but I know that there is correlation between a strong grip and being healthy when you're older, right? So if you tested a group of people that were say in their 70s, probably the person who has the strongest grip is the healthiest overall. You know,
That's so crazy.
I mean, it's so grip is fascinating, man. All the strongman stuff is fascinating to me though, because you can go through history and find these different feats of grip strength,
Yeah.
but also feats of strength in general.
Do you know who the guy who did a single arm deadlift like with like 500 plus pounds with no strap? There's some guy. I see a picture of some guy. He's like, it might be 400 or 500 plus. I think it's 500.
Yeah.
And he has no strap on.
Was it a hook grip?
I don't know. It looked like he was just going like
Just
this, but it
grabbing
could have been a hook grip.
Yeah.
But it's a single arm deadlift.
I think I've
Like, have you ever tried a single arm deadlift?
I did it with like a farmer's handle, right? So it's, I mean, basically it's like a bar, but you're lifting. So the farmer's walk implements, we typically pick up 2 of them and carry them.
Yeah.
So I remember loading one up because I was just curious. And
It's a little higher though, right?
Yeah. Higher than a 9-inch pole. It's probably more like 12 or 13 inches, and then you just grip it. But with that, the handle's not revolving. So with a barbell, it would spin
Yeah,
potentially.
it's so much
So
harder.
it's a single arm deadlift is very challenging.
Because I can do a really
and also the balance of it because it's so long.
Yeah, well, that's just offsetting your body,
Yeah.
sort of. I can do a really good single arm deadlift, but not without like a strap.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You need, yeah. Well, it's your connection point.
Yeah.
Right. So like it is if you're strapped in, it changes the game completely.
With all lifts.
Yeah. I mean, this is an argument. I mean, I guess with strongman, like when I first got into it, some of the max deadlifting and stuff we did, you weren't allowed to wear straps.
That was probably crushing people.
It was. It's different because now you're going an over under grip to lift the bar.
Yeah.
And it's just different now. And then the straps evolved, and now it's got into these like figure 8 straps where
where it loops,
which are super bad. I mean, they're horrible. I hate them.
Why?
Well,
Like horrible for you, or
so there's two things with those, right? One is what naturally happens is everybody tries to cheat a little bit, right? So that, because it ties in and you don't actually have to hold the bar. If you make that strap a little bit looser, it hangs lower, right? So if you're deadlifting, instead of having a grip where the bar is right in your hand, now you could cheat it down.
Yeah.
So it's hanging, so you shorten your range of motion.
Yeah.
And 2, the other thing is they're super dangerous.
Like on the wrist?
No, because you can't let go of the bar. You can't bail.
Oh yeah, I noticed that
like-
because I did it with I used those once with Larry. We were doing a heavy deadlift session.
Yeah.
And when I put it down, I know it's like yank. I was like, because I hadn't used it before.
Yes.
And like yanked me down. I was like, whoa, wait, what?
Bro, I've seen some nasty injuries. Nasty. Because you lose, all you have to do with that bigger weight, you lose your balance, you pull too hard, you step back a little bit, and now all of a sudden you're tied to that bar. You're going wherever the bar is going.
Yeah.
Right. So I've seen guys, one guy within the sport actually like crushed his face. So he came down, crushed his face, tore his tricep.
How the crush his face though?
Because it pulled him. And
he
forward,
went down.
And now you can't let go. So your face is going in the ground.
Oh, you're not yet because you can't put your hands down. Yeah.
Your hands are tied. So that's another X factor. But I just think it's overall what I would say is like a strap like that. It's taken away from the rawness and realness of a deadlift.
Yeah.
Where it just, that element of it, if you have a normal strap, that's fine. Right. And you have to at least hold on. You have to hold on with a normal strap, even though it's looped in. Yes, you can cross them different ways and make it, so you're tied in. Some guys try to do that, but at least it eliminates the bar hanging lower.
Yeah.
So
what do you think the most important things for someone to be strong are? Because I got to ask you this, obviously, strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
What are the grip strength? Sounds like one of them.
Well, grip for sure, but I think you naturally have to look at discipline, right? So if you want to get stronger, you have to be disciplined, right? Because strength is something.
So I sat up because you're so. I was sorry.
Is that where you?
No, I was leaning down. I was like, yo, I got to sit up, otherwise I'm gonna be like tiny.
Have you set this up so you have a better camera angle?
No,
Have
no.
you tried?
No.
Right.
To get a better camera angle?
I just saw you pull your sleeve up.
Oh no,
like
yeah, I mean,
over
I'm
there.
just kind of, you know.
Were you inside trying to get a pump before we?
No, I was on the phone. I swear to God.
You swear?
I swear.
Because you kept me waiting out here a minute.
But I had to take a too. I'm not gonna lie. I had to take a shit.
Hey, at least you're being honest.
Yeah, I had to take a Then
Yeah.
Steve called me. He was talking about his house being like all these acres. He's like, buy a house in Florida.
You know.
Sorry, yeah. But okay,
Yeah.
let's get back on track.
Yeah.
To be
So discipline, but you can't. The beautiful thing with strength is you can't fake it, right?
Yeah.
You cannot fake strength, and so you have to be disciplined. You have to put in the hard work. That's just a rule, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to get results in the gym. It's if you really look at it like your body really is your business card, you know, or your presentation. So you walk in a room and you walk in a room compared to somebody else, you're in shape. Well, you didn't get in shape by accident.
Yeah.
It's not like you just fell into that.
Right.
And like, oh, I'm in great shape. Oh, I just woke up this way, right? Nope.
Yeah.
You put in a lot of work for a lot of time. So strength is the same thing. It's not, you're not going to be able to fake it. You can't say, well, here, I'm going to go out and deadlift this weight or press this weight or whatever without putting work into it.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. Just across the board, man. And the eating has to go with that. The sleeping, like you have to live it to be successful.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just what it is. And there's sacrifices that have to be made for that to happen. Right.
Yeah,
And now it's the interesting part is that so I feel like some younger guys don't quite understand that, right? Like they want everything now. It's got to be
sure.
now, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm not benching 3 plates, it's got to be now. If I'm not benching 4 plates, it's got to be now. I need it right now. And it's not. It's this long game where if you're 20, you have to think about what are you going to be doing when you're 30, and then what are you going to be doing when you're 40? What do you want to be like, right? So it's this trajectory of just getting a little bit better, and doing it on a daily basis. And that will lead to a positive change in the long run.
I mean, it's like everything in life.
Massively.
Any sort of success, any sort of anything.
Yes. Well, all of this. Think of all of this stuff that you have, right? Everything that you've done hasn't come overnight,
Right.
right? Even though certain people are going to say to you or say to me, "Hey, man, it must be nice. Must be nice."
Yeah.
Well, bro, you weren't there. You weren't there at the beginning at any of it, right? Because I know that there was a beginning for you. There was a beginning for me, and it wasn't pretty,
No.
right? But your discipline through those times has led you to where you're at, just like it's led me to where I'm at,
Yeah.
right? And
It's about the discipline.
totally, yeah.
And I think it's also too about like what's really driving you. Because obviously for everyone it's different and unique. Like the things that I think for the most part that drove me was like just kind of like pain. And I think sometimes it's like learning how to transmute that into something like way better, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard because I think most people when they're in sort of settings of like strife or pain, it's easier to go like, oh well, my life is this way and just it, you know, instead of like, okay, how can I make this better? So it's just reality is like, yo, do you want something bad enough? Are you willing to put in the work every single day for it? And I just think most people aren't, because most people do. They want that, like we're talking, they want that immediate satisfaction of it. And our world now today is like everything's immediate satisfaction. Everything is like, I see someone else has this. Why don't I have this? That 19-year-old kid has this success or this money. I should have this.
Sure.
The internet is like making people weak and dumb.
Yes. Well, the
Like it really is.
It's the truth.